lot in my face. People claim that they be loyal, they be taking up space. See my broski lose his heart when he was fighting that case. Took so many yells, I'm not going back to those days. I'ma treat you how you treat me, do you like how it tastes? Shawty use a
Coach, on the eastern edge of the D.C. metro area in Landover, Maryland. That's where we are situated at FedEx Field. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Washington Redskins. Two weeks have come and gone. It's off to week 3, and we're underway on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go. Waiting. Right there. Ram.
They will run for the first time with Miles Sanders. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. It's a second down run with Sanders. Able to shake free for about 7 up to the 35.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
An early test for this defense. Here we go on 3rd and inches. They'll try and run for it with Sanders. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. Well, so much for picking it up on the ground on 3rd down. 3rd play of the drive, and this defense showing strong early.
I wonder how much of that was scouting. I wonder how much of that was a gut feeling like, okay, let's just go ahead and sell out here and get after them, thinking they're going to run the football and stuff them early, because they've now set the tone. They've set a precedent right here. If you're going to try and run the ball against us, it could be hard going throughout this game.
Haskins and the Redskins come up 1st and 10 at their own 27. Darius Geis, his first carry of the game. They find some open field here. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It'll go as a pickup of 14 and a Washington first down. Back to the ground on 1st. It's Geis. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
12 yards is the pickup, and it's good for a Washington first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 41. They'll run again with Love on first down. And the lane closes up quickly as he'll get about 3 down to the 38.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground.
Hey, watch the screen. Watch the screen.
From the 38, Haskins. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And he has another first down as they'll get the 13.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
On first down, this is Geis. And he's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
Geis with a carry on second down. And he fights his way into the end zone for a Redskin touchdown. Darius Geis, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Dustin Hopkins on now to add the extra point. It's good, and the Redskins take a 7-0 lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
From the 27, Wentz, man open, it's J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On 2nd and 9, Wentz. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, the intended receiver. But now it'll be 3rd down. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
Tight dog. Check 9. Mike, 55. Check 55, Mike. Time to go, night. Mike, 50. Let's find 7. Hey, eat.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. Trying for the tight end, Ertz, and it's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 46. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Now a handoff, Geis going right. And he's got room. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. A gain there of 21 yards. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you've said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and it'll make it a 2nd down. Second down, Haskins. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Third down, here's Haskins. And that is caught by the tight end Reed. Touchdown, Washington. Jordan Reed, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Redskins are able to stretch the lead out further. Now it's Hopkins to add the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Wentz. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Monte Nicholson picks it. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, the intended receiver.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
And the drive begins with a run by Geis. The tackle there by Crevon LeBlanc.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now a run with Geis. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on 3rd down. From the gun, Haskins on 3rd down. He's going to float this one deep right side. That's caught inside the 20. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. A big play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Redskins are able to stretch the lead out further. On is Hopkins now for the extra point. And it is now 21-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half. Yeah. He's got a man complete. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. That goes for a gain of 31. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Throwing is Wentz. That's complete to Arcega-Whiteside. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A good pick up there of 20 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Wentz. It's brought in by Jeffrey. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle 1st down.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
The Eagles into the red zone for the first time. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 11. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Off the edge, the sack by Matt Ioannidis.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack.
Jim. Check 13. Check 13.
Now wins. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Shotgun now for Wentz. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. A.J. Green, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Extra point right down the middle, and they'll cut the lead to 21-7. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. On 2nd down, here's Haskins. That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
And this one complete to Reed. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a 1st down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On 1st down, here's Love. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
This is Geis, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt, I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. Here's Haskins. Throwing middle, and it's complete. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a 1st down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It's a 1st down for the Redskins on a pickup of 11. Haskins now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's 1st down. Now it's Haskins. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over, then they get a chance to continue their drive.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
Second and 10. Here's Haskins again. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions. Third down here and 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions. Have them looking at 3rd and 10. Looking to throw, Haskins to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
At their own 24-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Well, look at the clock here. You're inside of a minute. First half hasn't gone that well for you. How are you going to play this drive?
Well, I've been told by my coaches previously that the intelligent approach, go ahead and run out the clock and start over. Don't make any more mistakes. But there's also something to understand.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Monte Nicholson picks it. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Now Haskins to throw on 2nd down. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Love. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. One play has them up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. On 1st down, it's Haskins. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now Haskins to throw it. And it's incomplete, broken up. But there is a flag down. Let's see what that's about. So flag for the contact, pass interference.
And I know that you're going to look at me and roll your eyes, and rightfully so, because you know what I'm going to say. Doesn't the defender have a right to the football as well?
No, I don't like defenders.
That's because you spent too much time with me. Okay, I'll side with you on this one. This is the correct call.
So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. He was true on his first. This a tough one from 49 yards away. And this one is right down Broadway. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. The Redskins in a good spot. They've got the lead. They will get the football as the second half gets underway. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Guys showing he's going to be an important part of this Redskin backfield as he's in there again for first down. Now they'll run it on the toss. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make second down pretty tough.
Number 53, Mike 53.
On second and 15 now. Haskins, he'll get this to his speedster, Paul Richardson. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 25 yards there on the catch and run. From the red zone now, Haskins on first down. That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last two plays. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was...
And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Darius Geis with his second TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Redskins are able to stretch the lead out further. Extra point good by Hopkins. And that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
A bit of an opening there on the first down run as they get this forward for about 6 yards. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Brings up 2nd and 4.
From just shy of midfield, Wentz. He's going to loft one deep left side here. Then his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off inside the 10. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And they had the touchdown during the last drive, and I'm guessing that you like the balance they had on that last drive.
And I loved it. Forget liking it. Absolutely love what they were doing, because to be ahead of a defense that much, where every play call you have, run or pass, is working pretty well for you.
Makes you look like a genius.
It really does. It also lets you know that your preparation was pretty good, and now the defense has to do all the adjusting.
So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. Here's Haskins to throw, and he's going to lose a yard or 2, taken down behind the line. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward, and now a small step back as he loses a yard or 2. The sack cost him only a yard. It's 2nd and 11. Now it's Haskins. Complete. Richardson has it. 19 yards the pick up there. Move the chains.
As the field starts to get condensed, the defense likes that a lot, because now you don't have as much space to cover, but a well-run corner route there.
Geis. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. From the gun, it's Haskins. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. Terry McLaurin, his second touchdown on the season as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. Hopkins with the extra point, and the lead will swell by one more. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
At their own 22-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Check 52. Watch the edge.
On second down now, it's Sanders. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
He's going to air it out deep for Green. And now here's another interception. Picked off at the 36. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
So the big play has him all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. Play action. Haskins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Fletcher Cox, the former Mississippi State Bulldog, ringing the cowbell there on the sack.
What a nice read and play by the defensive tackle. Never bought the play-action fake. Went right for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Now a give. Right side, it's Geis. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. Caught the defense off guard there a bit on 2nd and long, but now you still have to deal with 3rd and long.
Yeah, you do, but you feel pretty good about the last play, don't you? And maybe it gives you a little bit of confidence dialing up the next one, that maybe your team will believe in it when you send it in.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. To throw on 3rd down, Haskins. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. Back now at FedEx Field. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Paul Richardson. His first touchdown of the new season as his guys continue to pour it on. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. There he goes, right side. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Miles Sanders, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Eagles able to get this back to within at least some measure of respectability. Point after, right down the middle, as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. This will be fielded at the 6. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When you go to the backup, let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
From just shy of midfield, Haskins. That's going to be caught by Richardson. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 23. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Now a quick throw as that's complete on the hitch route. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Out of the gun, Geis. And we'll take this into the end zone. Now hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. Second down, Haskins. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30.
But nothing takes a start to have a good drive quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Let's go. Hey, we got
Now Haskins, 3rd and long. Throw left side complete. That's Love. Call it a pickup of 7, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Philadelphia picking up the first on a gain of 15. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. To throw, it's Wentz. And that's complete. It's Green here. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 10 yards there and an Eagle first down. Wentz now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Throwing now is Wentz. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Wentz throwing complete to Arcega-Whiteside. 10 yards there and an Eagle first down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete. What we just saw there, that's really been a common theme all afternoon.
A lot of pressure. That forced the errant pass. He's been under duress this entire afternoon. He just had to unload that one. He's fortunate it was just incomplete and not intercepted.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Wentz. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Here's a run on 1st down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard. 2nd and 11. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Let's go, tight end. Let's go right here now.
Haskins going to try to throw it. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. That's caught inside the 20. And they're going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Now it's looking incredibly likely to be a 3-0 start to this season. That is obviously excellent. 2-0 is one thing. 3-0, you really have some momentum.
And now they're serving notice to the rest of the league that they're a pretty darn good football team. Confident, aggressive, attacking at all times. This looks like a team that you're going to have to deal with. And guess what? Behind closed doors, they're trying to figure out ways to get better.
Extra point good by Hopkins. And that will extend this big lead.
14.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. He was looking for Miles Sanders out of the backfield, but it'll be 2nd down. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
6 guys. Check 6 guys. 36, 36. Mike's 56.
Now Wentz. Escaping the pressure right.
Don't get nervous.
And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. Wentz going to throw. He's got his man here. It's Green. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 14 seconds to go in the game. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
56. You don't want none, baby. No. Hey, you don't want to see me.
Now Wentz again. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. And one of the whistles for a timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds.
Go. 180. Check 56. Hey, man. Watch the boot. Go. Count. Watch the ship. Porky, 82, Porky.
From the red zone now, Wentz. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
Extra point splits the uprights as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5.
Come on, baby. Let's go.
Today's final score, Redskins 50.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Redskins, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Eagles, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3. And they'll be off to Minneapolis next week for a look at new U.S. Bank Stadium and a date with the Vikings. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.
Big numbers. 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers. Whole team counted, that's a big number.
Hey, foreign cars, foreign seats with the foreign leather. Foreign number, put the card in the ATM in the sad era. Yeah, flex mode, this ain't Southwest, this a jet. I ain't gotta shut the cell off, cause the iPhone don't got a jet mode. Bad, be press